someone like me, or it doesn't even matter if it's Canelo that wanted to employ me. Like, so how could you get your point across if you got some other guy that's going to, like, say if I want someone to box this way, or then the other person's just saying, no, actually I think you should do this and that, and it's like, it just becomes messy. You got Ben Davison, who's going out there, who's being part of like 4 coaching team or 3 coaching team with Devin Haney. It was like, you got Ben Davison, who's going out there, who's being part of like 4 coaching team or 3 coaching team with Devin Haney. It was like, you got Ben Davison, who's going out there, who's being part of like 4 coaching team or 3 coaching team with Devin Haney. It was like, how can you really get that point across? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, there has to be one voice. There has to be one person that's working with that person. But you can't put all coaches into one bracket, you know what I mean, saying we're lazy or something like that. I mean, it's easy for him to say people are lazy when other people have done a lot of the work. Like, for instance, myself with Josh Taylor, I spent 5 years ingraining the technique into that guy, making him the best possible fighter. You can't go wrong with Josh Taylor. Like, you're inheriting a unified world champion. You know, you got these people are listening to him, so good fighters are listening to him, so he knows what he's talking about when it comes to boxing. But when fighters, I'm not going to say they're ready-made because it's disrespectful towards him. It's not like they're ready-made. Like, you can fine-tune fighters that have technique ingrained.
What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. Wow! We got the trainer beefs right now. It's all kicking off. So for you man who don't know, Ben David Brentson, Ben David Brentvidson. Ben David Brent from The Office, son. How about that? Yeah, Ben David Brent from The Office, son, went on to some BBC podcasting and essentially said that all the UK training scene is lazy. And the reason he has all the top fighters and all of his fighters are performing, and I should have been trainer of the year because I've got 8 world champions and all my guys have won and all that kind of stuff. Even though, really, Ben David Brentvidson has just been a mobile coach. He's been popping into different camps for a week. Literally, Billy Ho Saunders flew you out for 3 days. What are you talking about? And can you believe that? Oh, no word of a lie. Everyone else is lazy, and I should have been trainer of the year because I had 8 world champions. You flew into the camp for 3 days. You're a joke, Ben. Imagine, seriously, yeah. Imagine being invited to talk about. Oh, imagine Ben Davidson being flown or being invited onto BBC podcast to talk about the state of UK boxing training. Was that Bunce guy joking? Or whoever interviewed Ben Davison, they must have been doing some sort of parody. Seriously, it must have been some parody thing. It must have been on BBC Three for some comedy effect. No joke. Of all the trainers you could pick, or for all the trainers you may possibly pick to discuss the state of UK training, you pick Ben. Ben Davison is the state of UK boxing training. Seriously. And maybe that's the irony of it. Maybe that's why they brought Ben on. They thought, wouldn't it be ironic if we brought Ben Davison on to talk about the state of UK boxing training? I don't give a F what no one says. There's no way that you bring that guy on. Of all the different guys, Mark Tibbs and even Adam Booth, Ben Davison, Mr. Mobile Trainer, Mr. Jump in for the last 2 days and claim the credit. You're joking. And the worst thing is, Ben Davison doesn't only just fly in for the last 2 days of the camp, he also just flies in for the last 2 days of the career. Like Shane Mcguigan points out. Can you believe Ben Davison says that boxing trainers aren't working hard enough and I'm out working them and they're lazy. They're lazy. What, you mean like Shane Mcguigan put 5 years of work into Josh Taylor and you've just fly by night for the last little bit and you want credit for that? Honestly, it's embarrassing. And again, that's why I respect Shane Mcguigan so much. He himself, you heard him there just say, I'm not going to take credit. I don't take much credit for George Groves. But you got Ben Davison. You don't even hear him mention Shane Mcguigan, do you? Seriously. I've heard, no word of a lie, when I made my last video critiquing Ben Davison, I had casual fans telling me, YB, what are you talking about? Josh Taylor's unified. Not knowing that they thought, what you YB? Not knowing that there's people out there, yeah, who think Ben Davison Josh Taylor and Ben Davison have been an item for like 5 years. Seriously. Most people, if you just listen to Ben Davison, you'd think Josh Taylor was his own invention. I love the way Shane Mcguigan punks Ben Davison and tells him, listen, anyone, my nan could train Josh Taylor. He's serious. Honestly, it's embarrassing to hear how they talk. And if anything, based on the stats, Ben Davison's actually made Josh Taylor worse. That's what the facts say, people. No word of a lie. He's got worse. Facts. 100%. Much less aggressive. Loves to fanny around now. That's what the facts say, by the way. He's got worse. He's devolved. Shock. Same as Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was sharp under Peter Fury. Next thing you know is peeling himself off the canvas with Ben Davidson twice against Wilder. Yeah? Everyone who knows boxing says, the Fury who fought Vlad was the best one. Super sharp. The one that fought Wilder was sloppy and slow and out of shape. Oops. But it was meant to be with a big Ben Davison. And by the way, Ben Davison was back in was flapping as well. And by the way, it only took 6 weeks with a real trainer to Kronk for Tyson Fury. Right there, you had 3 years of Ben Davison, which got you pretty much knocked out. Let's be real now. That first Wilder fight, Fury was knocked out. So right there, 3 years of Davison equals knocked out, and 6 weeks of a real trainer equals you moshed a guy, don't lose a round, twice, back to back. Can you believe that? And Ben Davison's taking credit. When you actually look at the evidence, the empirical evidence shows Ben Davison will take you from getting knocked out to winning, but the opposite way around. That's what happens if you go Ben Davison. There's case study after case study of seeing this. You go backwards with Ben, no joke. You go backwards with Ben, and the way he's talking about, the way he's critiquing the sport of, or the state of UK boxing training. Honestly, it's unbelievable. I swear down. There must be some sort of agenda going on for the BBC to bring this guy in and talk about the state of UK boxing training. I don't care what no one says. There must be something deep irony going on there. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, and by the way, again, the reason I rate Shane Mcguigan so much is the fact that he talks about how I don't really claim credit for George Groves, but really, I actually give Shane Mcguigan more credit than Adam Booth for George Groves. Why? How many world titles did George Groves win with Adam Booth? Oops, none. Shane Mcguigan takes an older, shot to bits, hopeless, had lost like 5 in a row with Adam Booth. Shane Mcguigan took the hopeless, shot to bits George Groves and squeezed a world title out of him and squeezed a win over Eubank. Squeezed all the juice out of George Groves, seriously. Got the best out of him. People forget at that time, George Groves versus Callum Smith was set to be a close fight, and it was really. George Groves was looking the best he ever had under Shane Mcguigan. So I'm sorry, no. And that shows you how humble Shane is. Even when really the data shows that Shane Mcguigan added immense value and actually changed the path of George Groves' career. Show me a time, yeah. You show me a career, and the thing is, it's not like Ben Davison had been around for a long time. He's been around for 4 years. Show me a time you've seen him positively change the direction of a career. In fact, Shane Mcguigan, I've seen him change George Groves' direction. I've seen him change Lawrence Okoli's direction. Oops. Yeah? I've seen him put Josh Taylor on a formidable path. I'll never forget in 2017 when he punched my man, what's his name? What's the quitter name called? I forgot his name now. But when Josh Taylor, honestly, I was gassed. I couldn't believe it. I thought, yeah, this boy gonna get it. And he punched my man up in 2017. The black guy, I forgot his name. O'Hara Davis. I kid you not. If I was betting back then, yeah, I'd have put coins on O'Hara Davis. I couldn't believe it. I thought, what are these guys talking about? OD's going to punch this dude up. Who do you think he is? Yeah, OD's from Brixton. Yeah, he's a real Brixton badass. Oops. Next thing you know, he gets popped on the nose and he fell apart. What the fuck? I thought O'Hara was the Brixton badass. What happened to the fucking hell? Do you know what I'm saying? Fucking hell, man. That's what I thought it was. That's what I swear down. I thought, nah, not OD. OD, too heavy-handed, and he can do this, he can do that. Josh Taylor was slip, whoop, pop in your nose, and that was it. He was out of there. Yeah, Big Brixton was out of there. He didn't want no more, did he? Scores best paid now. Did or did not Big Brixton want any more? He didn't want no more. Yeah, he was straight on. He was packing his bags straight away. He didn't want no more. Yeah, and that's what Shane Mcguigan does. Change direction of careers. Listen, you best believe he changed O'Hara Davis' direction of his career. I kid you not. 6 months before that, 6 months before Shane Mcguigan changed his whole life, literally, Shane Mcguigan ended O'Hara Davis' career. But 6 months before that, OD was arguing with Floyd Mayweather about how great he was going to be and how he was going to eclipse his career. That's how bad it ended up for OD because of Shane Mcguigan. When has, of all these examples I've just listed out for you, Okoli, Groves, and these are just the ones I know. I'm a casual. I don't look at all them random fires like Billum and whatever else. I don't know. I'm not interested. But the big ones, Okoli, Groves, Josh Taylor. When has, show me, never mind three in a few years. Never mind three in a few years. Show me one where you can say, look, YB, look what he did with this guy. Oh, what? I've seen you get Tyson Fury peeling himself off the canvas twice. Yeah, I've seen. Hold on. Yeah, I've seen you take him backwards. Who else you got? I've seen you take Josh Taylor backwards. So what have you been doing then to get all the? Yeah, for Ben Davidson, for Ben David Brentfordson to be in a position to be critiquing lazy trainers. What have you been doing? Devin Haney? Have he changed his career around? What? No. Devin Haney's still got no power. Yeah. Devin Haney's still knocking no one out. So, I mean, where's the credit? Seriously. And I'm, honestly, yeah, for me, yeah, it's nothing personal. Genuinely. If I saw Ben Davison doing sick things, I'd give him credit. But where are you? Ben, you're doing all this woofing, but really, where's the actual evidence, apart from your woof? Because all you do is woof right now. That's what you'd be doing. You'd be doing the most. Don't get me wrong. If training, never mind boxing training, yeah. If there was some sort of reward for having a mouth that just keeps running, you best believe. I reckon the awards would be something like, I'd be in there 100%. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it'd be Ben Davidson #1, or be Ben David. The runners. Listen, the hot list, the short list for the biggest mouth in Britain would be someone like the YB and Ben Davidson. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie to you. Those would be the names. You know, who can run their mouth the most? YB, Ben Davidson. That's the kind of lineup we'll be dealing with. I know my place. Ben Davidson, you think you're a trainer? Wow! And that's what I told you the other day. I told you that it's people like Ben Davison who give me the confidence to know I can train Tyson Fury too. Do you understand that? That's how YB, how can you say you can offer Anthony Johnson training advice? Well, the same way Ben Davison gets to train all these guys, and he hasn't got a clue what he's doing. The difference is, I actually have a clue as well, yeah? I actually give you a full gas tank, and you'll be super duper high IQ with me. Oops. Ben Davison, no gas tank, no chin, no power. I mean, what are you doing? Yeah? Your fighters go backwards with Ben Davison. Josh Taylor was the most formidable fighting machine. As Shane Mcguigan points out, Josh Taylor was a finished article. All he really needed to work on was his pop and get some more snap in his shots. He gets with Ben Davison and he literally runs away from the KO now. Wow, can you imagine that? Josh Taylor had a very specific set of skills to work on, and now he's lost it all. Now he wants to run around for 5 rounds because he's already winning, allegedly. That's the Ben Davison effect. And it kills me as well when he just punks. Listen, Shane McGuigan punks Ben Davison all over. He goes, what? Look at the situation Ben's in with Devin Haney, just hanging around with 4 other people in the camp. Not having no influence, but I think that's the thing, you see. I think Ben Davison finds comfort being in a camp where he can just fly in for the last 3 days and take the credit. Do you understand? I mean, it says it all when his first fight with Fury against Wilder and Freddie Roach was brought in. Ben needs that. Yeah, Ben isn't an alpha. He's not an alpha trainer who demands, nope, it's my way or the highway. He likes to have his hand held. He's a typical 2021. Way too much. Honestly, if you tested Ben Davidson's estrogen, it'd be full. He'd have as much as a woman. He would. Ben Davison would. He'd be full of estrogen. Yeah, that's why he likes having other men who can take responsibility, who can head the camp up. He likes to just fly in and then take the pictures, be there for the photo op, and that's it. I mean, he's got a career of doing it. He flies in for Devin Haney. He flew in for Billy Joe Saunders. He flew in for Josh Taylor. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what he does. His career is based on flying in for some credit at the end. That's it, people. And he likes that, because then if and when it goes wrong, he can just conveniently scrub it off his list. Oh, well, I wasn't really training him. I was just advising. But then guess what? If the guy wins, you best believe. For example, when he says, oh, all my fighters were unbeaten this year. Well, wait a minute, he was a Billy. And you can bet your bottom dollar, yeah? Oh no, but Billy, I wasn't training Billy. That was more advising, so it don't really count. But you best believe, yeah, imagine if Ben Davison, if Billy Joe Saunders had a beat Canelo, yeah, the biggest upset of the century, Ben Davison would have been like, yeah, well, I said this in the corner and I made this pivotal move and this is what changed the direction of the fight. The same way he injected himself into it anyway when it fell apart, and he tried to make himself look. He tried to make himself look like the saviour. Oh, Mark Tibbs was going to push him out there, and I can't believe how irresponsible he was. Ben Davison always injecting himself. Yeah, always about how lazy UK trainers are. Ben, you're lazy. You ain't built no one up. About lazy. I tell you what to do, Ben. Start build, because we can listen. Like I said. Like Chair Mcguigan says, we can all jump on the bandwagon afterwards. I could train Josh Taylor. I could train Lawrence Okoli. Maybe not him, but we can all jump on the finished articles. I could train Tyson Fury right now, 100%. I could train Josh Taylor right now, 100%. I could train Devin Haney right now, 100%, and maybe have some more power as well, truth be known, 100%. You, where's your real talent? Oh, you ain't got none. Have you? Because it's not like you've been here a short time. You've been here 5 years, so you could have taken a 15-year-old now would be 20. Well, how many of them you got? Oops, none. You're a glory hunter and you're a check hunter, which is fine, but just don't make no broad sweeping statements about the state of boxing training, because you are the state it's in. Any state boxing training's in is because of people like yourself. Ain't got a clue what they're doing, just there to poach fighters and glory hunt, and then try and rewrite history. Oh, look, I got people like Josh Taylor. You're a joker, Ben. Useless joker at that as well. Wow.